I still can't get over how fast Samantha's entire night may have turned into something far darker than humiliation, rejection, or heartbreak. What started as another glamorous night full of pressure and expectations suddenly feels like the beginning of something buried deep underneath Fairmont Crest. And I honestly think Samantha may have walked directly into the center of it without even realizing it. Because the more I think about what she saw in that dressing room, the more it feels like this wasn't random at all. I keep replaying the image in my head. Samantha already emotionally wrecked, already feeling abandoned because Donnell never showed up the way he promised he would. She was vulnerable, angry, embarrassed. It seems like she had already reached that dangerous emotional point where she wanted to disappear from the night completely. And honestly, that matters more than people realize. Because if Samantha had stayed at the ballroom 1 minute longer, maybe none of this would have happened. But instead, she walked away, and somehow she ended up seeing blood running across the floor of the dressing room. Not a little blood either. The way the situation is being hinted at, it could be the kind of injury that happens during a struggle. Maybe somebody inside plasma was attacked. Maybe someone tried to escape, or maybe somebody failed Joey and paid the price for it immediately. That's the part that keeps bothering me. Because Samantha didn't just see blood. She may have seen the aftermath of an internal collapse happening inside Plasma while the organization was already under pressure from investigations and betrayal. And if Plasma truly is falling apart from the inside, then Joey becomes even more dangerous than before. I honestly think Samantha was never supposed to witness any of this. She wasn't targeted. She wasn't investigating. She wasn't looking for secrets. She was just emotionally broken at the wrong place in the wrong time. And somehow that makes the situation scarier. Because accidents create loose ends create panic, and panic creates desperate decisions. Especially if Joey really is the person secretly controlling Plasma. What makes this even more unsettling is the detail Samantha remembers. Not the face, not the voice, just the diamond cufflink. That tiny detail feels too specific to be meaningless. And the next day, when Donnell finally explains why he missed the gala, Samantha opens up about what she saw, even though she's terrified to tell anyone. That's when everything changes for me. Because Donnell, recognizing that cufflink may not be coincidence at all, Joey gave him the exact same design. I think that realization probably hit Donnell like a truck. Not because it proves Joey is the killer. Not yet. But because the truth may be far more complicated than anyone imagined. Suddenly, Joey stops looking like a powerful businessman with questionable connections and starts looking like somebody living multiple lives at once. And I don't think Donnell was prepared for that possibility emotionally. The scary thing is that Joey offering Donnell the cufflinks almost feels symbolic now. Almost like initiation, or recruitment, or loyalty branding. If Joey truly sits at the top of Plasma, those cufflinks may represent membership, status, or trust within the network, which means Samantha accidentally identifying them could become catastrophic, because now Samantha and Donnell share information that they probably should not have together. And I have this horrible feeling that Joey's going to sense that shift almost immediately. People like Joey survive because they control narratives before they spiral. It seems like that's exactly what he's been doing this whole time. He manipulates perception. He stays calm. He gives gifts. He creates dependency. He makes himself look untouchable. But Samantha's memory threatens that control. Even worse, Donnell now has emotional motivation to dig deeper. And I really think that's where the danger explodes. Because Donnell isn't a trained investigator. Samantha isn't either. They're young, emotional, reactive. And now they may be stumbling into a collapsing criminal structure without understanding how deadly plasma actually is. That's the detail I think viewers are underestimating. This is not just scandal anymore. This feels like organized survival. If plasma is being dismantled piece by piece, then people inside it are probably terrified. Evidence may be disappearing. Members may be turning against each other. Somebody may already be talking to authorities. And if Joey truly is the head of everything, then every unexpected witness becomes a threat, including Samantha, especially Samantha, because she saw enough to become dangerous, but not enough to fully protect herself. And honestly, I think Joey's next move could determine everything. Part of me believes he may try something subtle first. Not violence immediately, control, manipulation, isolation. It could be. He tries convincing Danelle that Samantha is emotionally unstable after the gala incident. Maybe he'll frame her memory as unreliable because she was upset. Maybe he'll quietly twist the story until Samantha starts doubting herself. That would actually be smarter than outright threatening her. But another part of me thinks Joey may already know exactly how close Samantha got to the truth that night. Because what if someone inside Plasma saw her? What if the injured man survived long enough to mention her presence? What if security footage still exists somewhere? That possibility changes everything. And suddenly, Donnell refusing Joey's gift becomes even more important too. Because now I'm wondering if Joey already viewed Donnell as someone he wanted under his influence. Maybe Joey saw potential in him. Maybe Joey believed Donnell could eventually become useful to Plasma. The cufflinks might have been more than fashion. They may have been a test, a silent invitation, and Donnell rejecting them now feels symbolic in the opposite direction. Like fate pulled him away before he unknowingly tied himself to something monstrous. But Samantha pulling him back toward the mystery may place him directly in danger anyway. I also cannot ignore how emotionally fragile Samantha already was before all this happened. That matters because fear changes memory. Trauma changes judgment. And if Samantha starts second-guessing herself, Joey may exploit that weakness perfectly. But what if she's stronger than everyone assumes? What if Samantha slowly becomes the one person Joey cannot predict? Because sometimes the people criminals fear most are not detectives or cops. It's ordinary people with conscience. Ordinary people who accidentally see something real and cannot live with silence afterward. And I think Samantha may be approaching that point now. The problem is speaking up could destroy her life. If Joey has influence across the city, then exposing him might mean exposing judges, businessmen, politicians, maybe even law enforcement connected to Plasma. The truth may be far more complicated than just one murder in a dressing room. That blood Samantha saw may connect to an entire system already rotting underneath everyone. And I honestly keep wondering whether the injured man was actually supposed to die. Because if he survived, then there's another possibility nobody is talking about. What if the wounded member becomes a key witness against Joey? That would explain why the organization suddenly feels unstable. It would explain the panic. It would explain why Joey might become increasingly desperate to clean up every loose thread connected to that night, including Samantha, including Donnell. And I have this terrible suspicion that Donnell is going to start investigating quietly behind Samantha's back because he thinks he can protect her. That kind of decision never ends well in stories like this. The moment young people start believing they can outsmart networks like Plasma, everything spirals, especially when emotions get involved. Because now this isn't just curiosity anymore. Donnell may start feeling guilty for not being there that night. Samantha may start depending on him emotionally after sharing the secret. And Joey may realize their connection itself is becoming dangerous. That triangle feels explosive to me. And the scariest part is that Joey probably still has the advantage. He has experience, resources, connections. He understands fear. Samantha and Donald are still trying to understand what game they accidentally walked into. But no one expected. Samantha to notice the cufflink either. That tiny memory may become the one crack capable of destroying everything Joey built. Unless Joey silences the story first. And honestly, I keep thinking about how calm Joey might appear while all of this unfolds. That almost makes him more terrifying. Because the most dangerous people are usually the ones who never look panicked on the outside. So now I'm left wondering whether Samantha truly witnessed a murder or whether she witnessed the beginning of a war inside plasma itself. And if Joey realizes Samantha remembers that cufflink, how far will he go to make sure she never speaks again?